A lot easier than typing out a step-by-step instructions and trying to include screenshots. And anyway, so after you copy and paste that URL that I emailed, this is where it's going to take you. And basics of the page, you got your Landsat layer over here. This is all we're really focused on. And then you've got your, on the right here, you've got where you type in your area of interest. So with the Landsat layer, we'll get to that later. So we'll just use Dexter as an example. For the sake of brevity, I'm just going to focus on displaying the data for a specific data, a specific area. There's a few other things you can play around with on here, but for the most part, that's the most useful thing in my opinion. So it zooms into Dexter, and we'll go over here to our Landsat layer, and there's a few options. So show legend, this is just showing what bands are there. Not really that useful, and there's better explanations, and I'll show you later on. So what we are interested in though is showing the table. So what this is going to do is it's going to pull up the data that's available. So you can see here it's showing a layer that is, this is going to be, so this data is not sorted right now. We're going to sort it by the acquisition date. So all you have to do is click on that, sort descending because we want to see the newest data. And so you can see there's data available from July 9th. Now that doesn't necessarily mean there's data available in Dexter for July 9th. That means somewhere in the world there is, because right now we're looking at 237,000 plus features. So what we want to do is narrow it down to just Dexter. So all you have to do is, now that we're zoomed in on Dexter, just click on it. What that's going to do is select all of the data. So there's 40 different days, or 40 different features. Each feature is a day, so there's 40 different days worth of data for Dexter, it looks like. So we will only want to display those days. So we're going to go over here to the table options and go just show selected records. So now it should only show those 40. And it didn't work. I have yet to get this to work on the first try. Probably out of the last 5 times I've done this. So anyway, just click it again, and it should work the second time. It always does. Show selected records. Okay, there we go. I knew there wasn't any data for Dexter for July 9th. So anyway, 6/26 is the most recent date, since we have only display by selected and sorted by acquisition date. So right now what's showing on the map is some sort of a composite of the best data. I'm not exactly sure how, but what we want to do is we just want to focus on June 26th, since it's the most recent. And what we're going to do is just click on it, select it, go up here to the table options, and click on display selected images. And so there is data for June 26th for Dexter. Now we want to switch what analysis is being used. I'm not sure which one is shown right now, but we go back over here to the layer, click more options, and image display is what we want to select. So right now is showing agriculture with DRA. If you click this drop down, it'll show you the different options you have, and you can read the descriptions. So this is using the infrared 1 band, the near infrared band, and blue. And so they also do this dynamic range adjustment, which enhances it, makes the I think that makes the data stand out more. But anyway, vigorous vegetation, bright green, stress, dull green. So you can go through here and you can see they have quite a few layers with this DRA correction. And then if you go beyond that, there's the same layers without the DRA correction. I have yet to find a reason to use the uncorrected data. I mean, why would you use the less quality? But anyway, the option's there if you want to use it. And then there's natural color. It's such low resolution, I haven't really seen a reason to use the natural color. These two down here are very useful. The NDVI colorized and NDMI. So NDVI colorized, we'll go ahead and just select it and apply. So you can see, we'll go back to the table so we can see what those So dark green, thick vigorous vegetation, brown, sparse vegetation. You'll notice some of these layers, they use similar sensors, and they're going to show the data in a very similar manner, but it's some of the changes are pretty drastic between the different sensors. So anyway, it's fun to play around with, and that's how you switch between the way the data is processed for a specific date. So now if I want to switch down to look at June 10th and compare that, or just look at it, we're going to just click on it and then go back to the table options and display select images. So now we can see this is the data for June 10th. And also in the table is some of the image quality information. The main one you want to focus on is the cloud cover. That's actually, I guess I was wrong when I said that the natural color image data isn't very useful, but it is actually useful for looking at cloud cover. So this is showing that there's almost 45% cloud cover for the most recent day. So I'm going to switch to the natural color just to see maybe. Right now we're showing the wrong day, so I'm going to select that one and show selected records. That's not what I meant to do. To display selected images. Darn it. Display selected images. So now you're looking at the Dexter area in the natural color. Now what I did was I actually screwed up there, because when I clicked, what did I click? Display selected images? No. Show selected records. Anyway, what I did was I unsorted everything. So now it's only sorting by the one day. So you have this is one of the downsides of using this. So now you have to go back and click on this, and it's going to once again pull up all the features, and you need to click again so it selects them, get it 40 selected, and you have to do this whole process over again. Show only the selected records. Okay, now we're at selected records, and so now you're back where you were. Anyway, if you happen to misstep when you're in the table menu, that's how you get back to it. So I think I pretty well covered how to access the data and how to look at the different processing options. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and hope this helps.